Happy New Year, and welcome to the channel. In this video, Larry will be showing you a quick, easy, delicious method for fixing a bowl of fresh chicken vegetable soup in the Dash Mini Rice Cooker. So let's move to the kitchen and join him.
Hello y'all, and welcome to this fun video. In this video we're making in the Dash Mini Rice Cooker, which I don't really call it even a rice cooker because you can cook so many different things in it. Rice is just one of the tip of the iceberg that I make with it. But today we're making a really easy, real good, relatively fast chicken with vegetable soup. And I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in the mini rice cooker, because remember, the rice cooker doesn't have an on-off switch. You either plug it in and it's on, or unplug it and it's off. So let's plug it in, and it's on now, and the light's on, and of course it comes on and defaults to the warm setting. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. We're going to lift the lid off, and we're going to go ahead and put our chicken in. And what I have is I bought some of those thin sliced chicken breasts that they have at Aldi. They're very inexpensive, really good, and about as much meat as you want. The thick breasts always seem to just be too much. They're too big. So I'm going to put that chicken in there. You can see how it is. And then I'm going to add enough chicken stock to cover it up. Let's put the chicken stock in, and that's enough to cover it. It's really not critical how much water you put in, but you want to make sure you have enough to cover the chicken. Because what we're going to do is kind of pre-cook the chicken, because it'll take more cooking to get it done than the vegetables will. What I'm using instead of chicken stock, and I tell you all the time, I'm using the broth-based chicken, and it's made by Orpington Farms. You can buy it at Walmart. You can buy it at just about any grocery store. Plus, along with the links for the cooker, I'll have a link down below where you can order it online, and it's no more than what it is if you buy it at the grocery store. Plus, it comes right to your house, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, it doesn't cost you anything. So, what I'm going to do now, I've got the chicken and the broth in the cooker, and that's all we're going to put in at this time. I'm going to push the button down, and it's going to go to cook. We're going to let it come to a boil, and then we're going to keep an eye on it. So I'll be back and we'll take a look at it after it's boiling. This has been cooking now for about 15 minutes, and it's come to a nice boil. And we're going to open it up and stir it a little bit and see what it looks like. There, the chicken looks like any parboiled chicken. We'll let it cook for a little while, because if we let it cook and cook down, it's going to be a lot more tender when we make our soup. So we're going to cook the soup. We're going to probably let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll check back on it. Okay, now it's been going for about 30 minutes, so I'm sure that the chicken's done enough. Let's take the lid off, and we're ready to get started adding some other ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is I've got a carrot chopped up, and it's two of those little mini carrots. You can put as much as you want, but there's not a lot of room in this little pot, so you're going to have to be careful. It'll fix just about a perfect amount for 2 average size bowls or 1 great big bowl of soup. So if you're fixing it for yourself for lunch at work or for dinner when you get home from work, this is just perfect. There are the carrots. Next I've put in about 2/3 of the stalk of celery that I've chopped up. You can see about what size the pieces. And I love the taste of celery. It's a real fresh, clean taste to me. So I chopped up 2 of the leaves from the celery stalk and put in there too, because I think they make a nice addition to it. And the last thing I'm going to add as far as whole pieces of food goes is some potatoes. I have some little small potatoes that I've cut into 4ths, and I've put that in there. And that looks real good. Now we've got our chicken, our carrots, our potatoes, and the celery. Next thing we're going to put in is put some spices in, some flavorings. I love Italian seasoning, so I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in. I'm just going to put a sprinkle. Remember, this is just a small amount of food, so you can't use a whole lot of seasonings, because if you do, it's going to be way overdone. There's a little sprinkle of Italian seasoning. Instead of that, you could use oregano. You could use any kind of spice that you want and make it yours. Definitely make this dish yours. Next thing I'm going to put in is a little bit of salt and pepper, and this is the Pit Beast salt and pepper, and I love it. I'll have a link to it in the information below as well. It just has the best flavor, and it doesn't have any garlic, and I don't think this soup would be real good with garlic. If you like it, put it. Also, if you like onion, I didn't put any onion in it, but you're certainly welcome to do what you want with it. And the last thing I'm going to put is some ground turmeric. I love the turmeric, the smell and the taste of turmeric, so I'm going to put some of that in there. I'm using just about a third, well actually it's about a sixth of a teaspoon. We're going to put that in there and stir it around so it gets mixed in. Look at the color. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it added a beautiful amber, kind of a fall-looking color to it. And look at the chicken. Chicken looks good. Wow, this is going to be really good. Actually, it looks so good I'm going to eat it for supper tonight. Then what I'm going to do, I saved some of the chicken broth, and I'm going to pour a little bit more in because we need to have the pot fairly full. Not completely full, because those of you who use rice cookers with these glass lids know how bad they are to splatter. So we're gonna put that on there like that. And while we're talking about rice cookers, you could also do this with a much larger rice cooker. You could do it with one of the large intelligent rice cookers, or whatever you wanted, and double or triple the recipe and make it bigger, make more of it. Or you could put it in a bigger rice cooker and use the same ingredients that I'm using in this one. We're going to let that cook for probably 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to come back and check on it. What we're doing is not really cooking by time. We're going to cook by tenderness. We'll come back and check, and we'll check the potatoes, and we'll check the carrots in particular. And once the carrots begin to get soft, we know we're just about there. It's been cooking for about 45 minutes now with the vegetables, and I just tasted it off camera, and it's just about there. I'd say we're probably about 10 to 15 minutes away from done. Look how nice. Wow. It's so pretty, and it tastes so good. It tastes really fresh. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. You've probably heard me say before, when I've used rice cookers for other recipes, the thing that makes these rice cookers move from cook to keep warm is the temperature, not the amount of liquid that's in the pot. As rice cooks down and begins to run low on water, the temperature elevates because it can get above the boiling point. Of course, at sea level, that's 212 or 100 if you use Celsius. So that's what cuts it off. As it is with this, if we keep adding liquid, it'll stay in the cook mode and won't click over to keep warm. And that's what we want. Okay, we're going to leave that for about 10 more minutes. Come back and check on it. And truth is, it should be ready at that time. All in all, it's been cooking about an hour now since I put the vegetables in. That doesn't include the initial time that I did the chicken. So let's see how it looks. Looks real good. Actually, it looks amazing. Let me try one of the carrots and see how well done they are. They're very hot. It's done perfectly. I'm going to plate it up we'll taste the soup itself with the chicken and see how it goes. Let's dish up a bowl of this deliciousness. And we'll let it sit here and cool for a few minutes. The green that you see in there is the leaves I told you. I chopped up some of the leaves on the celery to give it some added flavor. You can see I'm using a ramekin, but it's a big ramekin. And it's, oh wow, that's hot on the finger. And it would probably do 3 of those. So the amount that it did is perfect and real good. We're going to let that sit there and cool for a minute and then we'll taste it. I've been letting it sit there for about 10 minutes to cool. And now we're going to have a taste of it. But in the interest of total transparency, I've already tasted it and it's real good. So flavorful, so fresh. And what's great about it is that you can come home from work and put this on, and in about an hour and 20 minutes, you'll have this to eat. And of that hour and 20 minutes, most of the time is spent with the soup cooking. So you won't even have to be involved. You can be looking at the news or reading the paper or checking your emails or whatever you want to do. Now this is about, I think this is the second or third dish that I've done with the Dash mini rice maker. And I'm going to do several more. I've got a couple more ideas that I want to do. One of them I'm going to do will either be this evening or tomorrow. So they'll upload about the same time. And I'll put a link to each of these in the information below the other one. So if you watch one of them, you'll be able to watch the second one pretty quick. Also, remember that the items that I've used from Amazon for this dish and all the dishes that I use are in the information below and will allow you to purchase them at regular cost through Amazon, and it helps the channel just a little bit with just a tiny bit of commission. And we always appreciate that. This rice cooker actually normally sells for about $20. Sometimes they run it on special for about $18. That's a hell of a deal that you get this and get all of the cooking ability that it has. Oh, I was going to tell you that one of the videos that I've done on this that's really a good one is I cooked lentils in the mini rice cooker, and they came out superbly. And we've had over 1,200 views on that video, so evidently everybody else likes it too. Thank you so much for viewing our video. Click on the little subscribe button on the right hand bottom corner of your screen to subscribe. That helps the channel and helps us get out to more people. And check out the information below where there's the purchase links I told you about, as well as the recipe that you can highlight and then print. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
If you're a returning subscriber, you know we love you and are always especially glad to host you. If you are not, please consider subscribing. It costs you nothing and really helps the channel. This is Andrew wishing you a great time in the kitchen trying out our recipes. Take care.